short restorative practice to just really slow down. We've got some stretching, of course, in there. We'll start off with some gentle movement, but today you will just need a block and a bolster. You can also use a pillow, a book, anything else, or I will give alternatives for prop-free practice. So let's start in a child's pose, and you might like to take this as a supported child's pose. So grabbing your bolster. And this is just a reminder as well that, and I thought I would get changed and pop something else on to record this video, but I also could have done my hair, my makeup. Just a reminder to wear whatever you're wearing. Opening the knees out wide if you haven't already, that can feel really supportive to just ground down. We will start to take a diaphragmatic breath here, so breathing deep into the belly. Feeling the belly expand and feeling the belly deflate like a balloon. If you are in a supported child's pose, the bolster underneath you, you can always tuck it deeper underneath the hips to have a bit of support. But this is a really nice one if you are pregnant. You can make a lot of space for the belly here. And I think I was even doing this one at 38 weeks pregnant. And we'll just switch our head over to the other side. Smoothing the breath into the body. So I'm switching sides of my head so I can be heard on the microphone. But smoothing the breath into the body. Inflating the belly and smoothly letting that breath go as well. So trying to be as soft and gentle as you can with the breath, no sound. See how smoothly and how softly you can draw that breath into the body. All right, let's take one more deep breath here. And let it go, maybe with a sigh. From here, let's gently press our way up. We can keep the bolster where it is or your pillow where it is. And a really good idea if you are practicing from home, if you don't have a bolster, and just start to, so I'm chatting and explaining the movement, but just start to intuitively move around a little here, just gathering some information on what's going on in the body today, where there's sore bits, where there's tight bits. And then you can start to fold into your cat and open into your cow pose. So inhale on the opening and exhale as we close off. So if you don't have a bolster at home, it can be a good idea to get this one. It was just from Spotlight and I just sewed this cover myself. The cover is always great because things get very dirty on the floor. But I got it from Spotlight, but you can absolutely always just get a pillow and stuff it with old clothes that won't make it to the op shop. Those ones that you've been thinking, what do I do with them? Because you want a bolster to actually be quite firm all of those clothes have a bit more support about them. So you don't want the bolster to be too cushioned. You want it to have some robustness about to it. All right, we're feeling nice through the spine. Any sort of motion is that beautiful lotion towards the spine. That's what a physio and a yoga teacher always says, and I think that's just a beautiful thought. From here, we are going to tuck those toes and press back, feeling an opening through the feet, and just a little bouncing here, or stay stationary. Feel free to move the hands as well. Take a big breath and back up. From here, keep those toes tucked, and we'll start to lift up through the knees. We're not going too much further than this, but just walk those feet in a little and start to pedal out through the feet. Beautiful. Just enjoying the movement, so no pressure on what things look like today. Really, please never have pressure on what things look like, but just feeling into what feels nice today. We don't have to look a certain way or be in a certain position. We're just feeling into opening on the back of the legs and the calves, maybe even a little in the feet and through the back as well. So just rocking back and forth, a little bit of movement here. Okay, let's drop back down to the knees. You can leave your bolster, you can push it out of the way, but just a gentle little twist. So reaching up with the right hand, and let's let the right shoulder drop down onto the bolster. And this can be a great support, and you can always put it across the mat as well. But left hand can press down into the bolster. It can reach forwards, or it can feel nice behind the back. Just holding here. I'm just going to take a breath in and a breath out. Coming back through center, left hand lifts. And let's twist. Again, feeling free to push that bolster away, but just staying here, altering your positioning with that top arm. Take one more breath. All right, reset. Now from here, let's bring the right hip down next to the mat. Our legs are going to zigzag off to the left hand side. Any other positioning with the legs, of course, is fine as well. Then we're going to start to drop our way down towards that bolster. You are welcome to tuck the arm around the bolster. If you're pregnant, this is good because you can be on that side, and this can be a nice one for your Shavasana. That way, just exited my brain, even though I say it every single yoga class. The other option is you can turn yourself completely towards the bolster, and there still definitely is enough room if you are pregnant, but depending on where you're at, might not feel comfortable. So this can be just one for if you've got no baby in the belly. And if you are laying on your side, this is when you can start to tuck that left hand behind the back, maybe reach it over the head. We're not here for too long, so we're not taking those deep restorative times today. We're going to be for about a minute. And slowly start to untangle yourself a little here. We're going to come back onto the bolster. So you might like to prop it up. You can pop the block underneath the top of the bolster on any height. I prefer to have it laying directly down on the mat. Maybe you bring the soles of the feet together here. Maybe you've got long legs and maybe you've got feet stacked. You may even keep those legs zigzag off to the side, and you can pull, and it's always a little bit hard to see from this angle. I need one from the top. You can pull that left leg off to the side. We're going to be here for a little bit longer in this one, so about a minute and a half, but I will let you know to switch sides if you've got those legs kicked off to the side. You, of course, as well, can bring almost a W shape to the legs and open up through the hips, which can feel really, really nice as well if your body goes that way. Bodies don't always move in the same way. Shock horror, I know. So we need to be mindful and really meet ourselves where we're at with these different poses, and that's what yoga is good for, and that's what we try to find in yoga. We find those edge points, so we find those points and poses that our bodies may not like to do, and we just sit in that. We sit where it feels like an edge, so maybe slightly past a comfort point, but definitely not into pain, and we're definitely not trying to hurt ourselves. So there's that act of knowing and devoting ourselves to it, but we're really meeting ourselves where we're at. Flip those legs off to the right hand side if you did come into that little zigzag. We're here for another 45 seconds. And if you're working on these classes within the month that we're working on them in Scorpio season, I guess, and you're working on sadhana, then it is that devotion, that constant showing up. If there is maybe an endpoint you want to get to, that's what sadhana can be good for. So if you're working towards a handstand or towards a splits, there's that act of showing up, that act of discipline, where we meet ourselves where we're at that day and continue to work through it, continue to work on it. Let's take one more breath here. Slowly start to make your way up. Untangle those legs a little. You might need to just move around through the hips, drop those knees from side to side, and then we get the left hip nice and close to the bolster. Again, slide the hands down or frame the bolster with the hands, and we come to lay here for the next minute. And I think this act of devotion is even more prominent when we come to something like a restorative yin, because we have that opportunity in the space to notice where the mind is at. So often when I'm doing a restorative, showing up every Sunday, so it's the same day, same time, same people, same studio, my mind is completely different from class to class. Some days I can fall asleep, and then other days my mind can't stop. And that there's some sort of like, what's the word for it? peace in that, because you know that it's, you know, not always going to be like that. You know that it's normal and there's this ebb and flow. One more breath. Let's slowly make our way up. We're going to come to a seated position. So this one will be definitely a touch sort of more active, I suppose, in terms of restorative, but make it as comfortable as you can. So we're going to grab that bolster. You can sort of change this one up. We're going for a wide-legged pose here. So kick those legs out as far as you'd like to go. Switch your direction on your mat. Maybe grab your bolster, and you can maybe grab your block as well. You can always, and I'll show you a couple of different ways, but you can rest your chin onto the block. You can pop your bolster lengthways, and mine is a little saggy because it's a homemade one, but actually that still works. So just, yeah, she's a bit floppy, but you can come to wrap the arms around your block and then come to lay the body onto the bolster. And this is a lot easier with a sturdier, non-homemade version, but I do love the chin, or again, you can stack the arms. We're here for a minute. Breathe in for 5. Draw your consciousness to the breath for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly make your way up. From here, we're going to come and lay down. So that may look like laying on your side on the bolster, or you can just come to lay all the way up and back. It can be nice to pop the knees over the bolster, grab your block if you are laying on your back, and you can pop the block underneath the neck. So potentially on the knife edge or on that second height is always perfect. So you can get a little massage through the neck. If you are laying on your side, you'll probably have a little easier access, and you can actually just give yourself a bit of a neck massage into the shoulders and really slow down that movement. So whether you're on the block or whether you are on your side, slowing that movement right down. We have the tendency when we give ourselves touch and massages to rush and speed things up. Start to bring consciousness back to the breath if it's just dropped off into thought as we really start to slow ourselves down for the end of our practice. So we're going to come into Shavasana after this. If there's any final poses, of course, that you'd like to do, so you might like to go for a little twist or legs up the wall, or you can even do Shavasana legs up the wall. And let's start to prepare ourselves for Shavasana. This is not going to be a long one, but if you have a timer or something close by, it can be helpful to just call out to Siri or pop a timer on for the next 5 minutes if you would like some sort of time limit on things. We open up the palms to the sky, or nuzzle yourself in if you are going for Shavasana on your side, just getting yourself that even 1% comfier. And just allowing your mind to be here. So just letting it run off. Following along on the journey, but just letting the mind process, letting the nervous system catch up, and letting your thoughts, your brain, your nervous system decompress. We're here for a minute. Starting to maybe open your awareness if you are finishing up. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, start to notice sounds around the room, outside the room. Noticing the earth beneath you, any smells in the air, just opening those senses up to the world around you. Take a nice big stretch over the head. Let's draw the knees in towards the chest when you're ready. Please take your time with this. Lay here longer if that feels like what you'd like to do. And we will close our practice with one Om, so maybe you would like to dedicate and devote that Om out to someone in need. Bringing to mind now as we bring our heads to Heart Center in Anjali Mudra. Taking a nice big deep breath in. Breath with consciousness here. We want to thank the traditional owners of this land and the lineage of yoga that has come before us. May all beings be well and happy. With infinite gratitude, I conclude our practice today. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you, everybody.